We've got another new release from HPI. This is the Venture 18cc competition crawler. Now it's not just another Venture 18 with a different body. This has actually got a different chassis and some really nice updates. Now you can see on the box some of the specs, you know, it's brushless. We've got a 3S lipo. We've got new wheels and tires, metal drive shafts, oil-filled shocks and so on. Let's take a closer look. So first off the body, they've gone for this competition style body. You can see it's like pinched on the front for better tyre clearance. You've got that half cage on the rear with like that pretend fuel cell. I do really like the fact that we've got clear windows, we've got reflective mirrors, and the mirrors are actually hard plastic. You've got little door handles there as well. You know, not going to be everybody's cup of tea, this body, but you know, it is pretty cool. It comes in two different colours. You can either get this matte green or a matte gunmetal grey. Now the way the body's mounted is new as well. It's hinged on the front, and then on the rear we've actually got this little kind of swivel piece here. So you just turn it to the middle, and then what you can do then is just lift the body up. So as I mentioned, it's brushless and it's still running their FLX 18 brushless ESC. This is basically a hobby wing, I think mini 18. So this is 3S capable. You've got a 6-channel fly sky receiver. To pair with the ESC, we've got a brushless outrunner motor. This is a 1621 3500 kV motor. It's got plenty of punch in this thing. Then we've got our single speed gearbox with half dig, and that's why we have this shift servo in the rear here. So instead of it being for 2-speed, it actually allows you to then basically disengage the rear wheels. So you've got kind of like half dig. I'll show you that working in a minute. You actually get a 3S lipo included as well, which is really nice. It's a 360 milliamp hour battery. So, you know, decent bit of runtime. You probably get like, what, half an hour's runtime off something like this. And it basically just sits in the slider here on the side, which is your battery tray. Now with the body off out the way, you can also see that aluminium chassis. So you can see it's very different to the previous Venture 18 chassis. So they've gone for this competition LCG style chassis. So you've got different mounting holes for your shocks on the front and the rear. You've also got adjustability for your top links as well. I don't know if you can see that, but you've got a few different holes there to be able to change the top links. You've actually got adjustable aluminium oil-filled shocks in there as well. And the way these are set up is to give you crazy amount of flex straight out of the box. Another new change we've got as well is the wheels and tyres. So we've actually got 1.3-inch plastic beadlock wheels, and then mated up to that is their Treads Rover tyres. Now these are really nice tyres. I love the tread pattern on these, super aggressive, fantastic for rock crawling. They are vented as well. And yeah, really nice and soft, nice foams in them. Yeah, fantastic tyres, and I was really impressed with the performance of these on the rocks and on the trail. So the actual stance of this Venture 18 has been changed as well. It's actually longer and it's wider. So on the front, we've actually got plus 4mm brass wheel hexes, and on the rear, we've got plus 4mm plastic hexes. Underneath, we've actually got plus 4mm metal heavy-duty counter-rotating drive shafts. The axles are plastic, but we actually have metal spool gears in them, and they are overdrive on the front and the rear as well. Another change we've got as well, you might be able to see, is we've actually got these high clearance lower links on the rear. Other than that, you've actually got 4 links on the front and the rear. On the front, we've got plastic steering links. You can see we are running straight axles, not portals, and we do have a 1.5 kilogram servo on axle steering servo. I was really impressed with how much power this thing has at the box. Had no issues turning the wheels on the rocks. As you can tell, I have already ran this thing from the dirt on the tyres, and yeah, on the rocks, it was really, really nice. So what else do you get included? You get a really nice 6-channel radio. There's the same ones that come with the other Venture 18s and some other brands as well. It's actually a fly sky radio, and yeah, absolutely fantastic transmitter, especially for a ready to run. Now you're not going to make use of all the channels on this one. We do make use of 2 of them for the half dig and the drag brake. If we pop the top panel open, you can see we've got all the usual like throttle trim, steering trim, dual rate adjustment. You do have your dip switches across the top, but you don't actually make use of any of them with it being the brushless system, at least from what I can tell. I've tried like the forward reverse, forward brake reverse, the drag brake settings and stuff, and none of them actually seem to make a difference. We actually control the drag brake on channel 4, and then you control that half dig on channel 3. Now the transmitter takes 4 AA batteries, or you can use a 2S lipo. They don't come included, so it's like 99% ready to run. You also get a little bag of goodies with some bits and pieces. You get your usual little wheel wrench tool, and you also get the little thumbstick if you do want to add that onto the transmitter. You also get an additional connector. I'm not actually sure what this is for. I don't know if it's just to change the battery lead, but if you know, drop it in the comments and let everybody know. You also get a nice little sticker sheet, and it actually gives you like 2 different livery options. So you can see I've stuck some of the stickers on there already. I've gone for just kind of less is more really is my approach. I've gone for just the Venture 18 on the side and just the one on the bonnet vent. And then I also stuck a Venture 18 sticker just on the rear window. But if you wanted to, you could have like these stickers on the side and stuff like that. And you've got lots of little shopping lists if you want them on it as well. So yeah, you've got different sticker options. You get a little technical guide as well, which has like the specs for all of the ESC, the receiver, stuff like that. And it also gives you all like your technical diagrams for your axles and stuff like that as well. You also get a little quick start guide. This one's quite generic, to be honest. I've never seen it before, but I guess it must just be for most of the HPI models, where it's got like lots of different diagrams that basically tells you about how an RC works and stuff like that. You also get a little guarantee booklet, but there's no instructions or anything with this one, which is a shame. I mean, it's not massively complicated to figure out, to be honest, but it'd be nice if it did just actually include some instructions to tell you how to operate the RC itself. You do get your USB charger as well. It's a 2 amp 3S USB charger, so you can charge the included battery. Okay, so we turn the transmitter on, and then the power switch is actually on the ESC, which is just this little white button here. So if you just press it, you get your 3 beeps, so you've got your 3S. Oh, and I probably forgot to say as well, but it's using a XT30 connector for the battery. Okay, so first off, let's just take a look at that half dig. So I haven't got either channel 3 or channel 4 enabled at the moment. So if we just pop it over so you can see, if I give it some throttle, you can see we've only got drive to the front wheels. Okay, but then if I enable channel 3, you heard the servo move there now. We've actually got drive to the front and the rear wheels. And obviously with the brushless, we can go super slow, or we can give it some beans. Literally almost flew off my desk. So the next thing is, at the moment, we've got no drag brake. So you can just kind of see it free rolls when you come off the throttle. There is a little bit of resistance. So when you kind of come off, you can see it's, you know, kind of stopping. But if you press channel 4, you then get the full drag brake. And you can hear it. It's very much that brushless hobby wing sound, which, you know, if you're into bashing, is the same kind of sound you hear from your bashers when you come on and off the throttle. Oh yeah, it's pretty savage drag brake, but I have tried going through all the dip switch settings and everything for the drag brake, and none of them seem to make a difference. It does just seem to be you either have the drag brake on with channel 4 enabled, or you have the drag brake off, from what I can tell. Right, let's just test out the slow speed control on the bench. So I'm just going to turn the throttle trim up on the transmitter until it starts moving. So there we go, nice and slow. We'll chuck the transmitter over there. And if I just stop talking for a minute so you can hear how quiet this thing is, it is really nice and quiet. You can just kind of hear the brushless outrow motor like rotating and then the tyres grabbing. I mean, it's absolutely fantastic slow speed control this. I was really impressed with how good it is. Obviously you can modulate it on the throttle as well, but doing it off the trim is a good way to show, you know, how slow it can be. I've got the drag brake turned on as well. You can see we've got drag brake enabled and we've got 4-wheel drive enabled at the moment. So the half dig is off. Now what will be interesting to see now is once we kind of pass over this tyre, what it descends like as to whether it runs away with itself. Quite often with a lot of these brushless systems, I've noticed with the hobby wing ones as well, is that they have a tendency when they're just passing over an obstacle, if you're going this slow, they'll run away with themselves for a second and then they'll have to kind of like catch back up with themselves and get going again. So let's just see if it does it on this one as well. So here we go. As it kind of transitions over this tyre, see if it kind of runs away with itself or not. So yeah, a little bit. I mean, obviously sometimes that's just the weight of the chassis, but how long it takes to get going again. You might be able to see the outrunner's still turning. There we go. Now we're moving again. So there was a little bit of a kind of delay as it was kind of like being like, oh, okay, right, I actually need to move again. But you know, still fantastic slow speed control. And realistically, when are you ever going to crawl this slowly? To be honest, you know, you've got some serious time to pass if you can crawl this slowly on the rocks and stuff like that. But yeah, really, really nice. And lovely articulation on this thing as well. The flex on this thing is just insane. Let's just see what it's like with just that rear wheel coming up as well now. And you can see like how much body clearance you have with this chassis style design. I mean, look at that. That is some lovely flex, isn't it? So just to demonstrate the half dig, I've currently got the dig turned off. So we are full four-wheel drive. So if I just turn and start driving, you can see we've got quite a wide turning circle. And then if I enable the half dig, so I turn off the drive to the rear wheels, again, let's just drive and it should drag the rear wheels a little bit. Let's see, you can see we've got a much tighter turning circle. And just to show you, if you were to give it some throttle and turn, you know, you can pretty much almost turn on the spot, similar to if you had like a full dig function where it would actually lock the rear wheels. Again, like I said, I'm no competition crawler, so you know, I'm not going to preach and tell you how to use the half dig, but that is my understanding of how you could use it. Now, just in case you're interested about playing the drivetrain, so it's still on at the moment. So that's the kind of movement we have when it's on, and the drag brakes on as well. And then if I just show you, look, just rotating it freely, you can see we got what, almost 90 degrees movement, I suppose there. A couple of other things I forgot to mention as well. It's got new skid plate designs and your center plate design as well have been changed. You can see with the shape of the chassis as well that it's kind of like designed so it's sloped upwards at the rear, so as you pass over something you're not going to catch and drag the belly. And then also with those high clearance links, you know, the idea being you're not going to catch on those either. You can also see as well what's nice, look, with the drive shaft, it is pretty much in line with the links, whereas quite often your drive shaft will hang down. So even with the high clearance links, you're still going to catch the shaft, but you can see on this one you're not going to, which is cool. Another thing to note as well, like the previous Venture 18s, it is using bushings, not bearings. The shocks are also threaded bottom as well, like on the U4, which was the last Venture 18 release. Anyway, that is enough waffling for me. Let's get to the running footage so you can see what it was like on the rocks and on the trail. Okay, let's see what this thing is like on the rock crawler course. So we'll do the little hill climb first. I'm hoping these tyres are going to be awesome, but let's see what they're like. Oh, we're getting stuck on the ridge, that's fine. Let's try go slow. That's some nice side hilling and control there. There we go. Not the usual way of making it up, but you know, we're going to try and do as many kind of weird and wonderful lines as we can. I might have said already, but obviously I don't do competitions and stuff like that. So, you know, you'll have to excuse if I'm not picking the best lines and stuff like that, but I'm going to try and run some of the harder lines on this rock crawler course and we'll see what it's like. It's got some nice steering angle on the front, to be fair. Now let's just see if we disengage the rear drive. Let's see if that will help us turn it around a bit easier. Should be dragging that rear. That's definitely a tighter line, but obviously now we've got an obstacle. We'll re-engage the rear. There we go, took a second to think about it. All right, we're gonna have to maneuver a little bit there. I do like the look of these wheels and everything, and yeah, I had these tyres on the Element Enduro 12, and fantastic tyres, really nice lug pattern on them. Right, let's go straight for the gatekeeper. Nice suspension movement there as well. I do like the damping on these. There we go, straight up the gatekeeper. Lovely and slow and controlled. We're lifting a wheel a little bit there on the front. Obviously we've got those brass wheel weights and stuff on there, so we got a bit more weight on the nose, but it does sit quite high, to be fair. But that's doing a really good job. Easily done, very nice. Let's just see what the tyres are like coming up and over here. Nice, nice bit of grip. That rock's pretty much out the way as well, so this is all on the tyres and the ground clearance. See, oh, look at that. Now that is some grip. That is very nice. That slate rock is not the grippiest of rocks. That is very nice. Lovely slow speed control as well. I mean, look at that. That is nice. Let's see if we can get some flex as we come through here. Let's go a little bit faster. Coming up to these next rocks up here as well. Oh, very nice indeed. Okay, let's make our way up to the stairway. We won't do everything slow crawling because you'll probably fall asleep, but let's just make our way up to the stairway and then move around here a minute as we maneuver. Okay, so again, test the tyre grip. Oh, lifting the nose there. Oh, yes, that's still lovely and controlled, isn't it? That is nice. Okay, let's see what the tyres are like coming up through here. Oh, nice. I do love the flex on this thing. It is flexing very nicely, isn't it? Do like a bit of flex. Oh, nice bit of squish on the rear as well then. Nice, easily done. I'm sure it'll do the merry-go-round, no problem. Let's just get up to the kind of the main point. Oh, hang on. I say that, and then we've got ground clearance on that front axle. Hang on. Oh, hang on. We're going to have to run a different line then, I suppose. Let's go something a little bit different. Come on. Yes. Okay. Right. And let's see what our turning circle is like and what our steering servo is like as we maneuver through here. Oh, look at that. Plenty of power on the servo, even with those grippy tyres, look, no problem at all. That's nice. Because sometimes it's annoying when you get hung up, you know, your steering servo just doesn't have the power to turn you. You end up doing like a 5,000 point turn. Let's run the wall. Nice. Oh, yes. Easy. Oh, look at that. Look at that. I mean, you don't have to slow crawl everywhere, do you? Oh, I stuffed up my line again. Oh, that is some lovely movement. Now, no idea if it'll do it, but as it's a comp crawl, let's just give it a try. I did manage to get the Terranaut to go straight up this rock face the other day, which was absolutely awesome. I'm not sure if this will get up there. Obviously, the Terranaut's 8-wheel drive, 8-wheel steer, but I just want to see what this thing's like. Oof. Oh, that's almost vertical. Look, it's not tipped yet. Oh, I spoke too soon. You've got some nice clearance there with the design on the chassis, but it's not like a belly dragger, is it? You're not completely kind of dragging along the floor, so you know it is sitting a little bit higher. Let's just see if we can. I wonder if I can get up on there without tipping over. Maybe we can actually get up there. Oh, no, same thing again. Look, is this going to tip us over? Ah. Okay, well, that's the new hardest line. Let's take what was the previous hardest line, which is basically where you crawl up here, try and get a tyre either side, which I may have messed up my line already. So we want that left tyre to go up there, and basically we're going to see if we're going to tip over. Oh, look at that. That is some crazy flex. Okay, that's not the actual line I intended to take, but that is mental. Oh, almost. Right, let's try that again and actually do the line I wanted to do. I couldn't believe that right tyre was literally just flat on the gatekeeper rock and just still crawling up there. That was crazy. Right, this is what we wanted to do. Oh, that's going to do it again. Look, we're kind of flexing out. Where the rear is twisting, look, we are just kind of flexing out. Look, I mean, like, that is insane. Look at that. I mean, the front is literally tipped over. The rear is still kind of where we want it to go, but obviously it's twisting us out. We need to, let's try disengage the rear. Oh, there we go. Let's try see if we can do it now. Oh, no, we're not going to have enough pull on the front, are we? Hang on. Let's try and get it going up there again. Oh, yeah, it's twisting us. Oh, look at that. Go on. Go on. Oh, if we can just get up and over there. Oh, it's having to think about it. Go on. Oh, don't tip out me. Don't tip out me. Oh, that is an angle. Look at that. Oh, that was sweet. Like I said, I'm no comp driver, so I'm sure somebody with more skills than me would be like, oh, you should have taken that line and done that. But that was pretty awesome, wasn't it? It's so cool. Oh, man. That flex was kind of working against us at the beginning, wasn't it? I was thinking, it's flexing out on the rear and then it's causing us to tip over. But that was an absolutely awesome line. I love it. Okay, let's just try something else. I just want to see if it can turn itself around over here and then literally come straight across, kind of testing out the side hill and the... Oh, look at that. That's pretty sweet, isn't it? I mean, that is nice. I like that. I suppose, you know, one of the advantages of this is that you can tune it, you know, you could play around with the shock placement and everything, you know, get it kind of working how you want it to work, because obviously at the moment, you know, our shocks are tilted quite far forward on the front, and obviously that's, you know, allowing it to flex a lot. But yeah, you could basically play around with it and get it to kind of work how you want it to work. But I mean, it's got some lovely movement, hasn't it? And absolutely fantastic control. I mean, look at that. That is so, so nice. I'm liking these tyres as well. These are nice tyres. I just want to come through here a minute and just see what the ground clearance is like as we move through. We're getting a wheel jammed up there. Yeah, as we come through here. So we've got the rear engaged again in our drag brake. Just want to see what our... Ooh, we're scraping that link in the axle there again. Let's just see what it's like as we come here. I love the flex, absolutely love the flex. Right, so this rock obviously has a high point here, so you can see we are dipping out on the axle. I wonder if there's a reason they didn't go for portals on this, whether to try and get the center of gravity a bit more where they want it to be, you know, closer to the actual body or something maybe. But, you know, obviously not having the portals, just straight axles, you know, we are grounding out a little bit. Obviously with the slightly larger tires, you know, it's not causing us a massive issue. But yeah, I don't know, it's, you know, we are getting hung up a little bit more. And I don't know, do you think it'd be better with portals, without portals? You know, for me, I suppose I kind of default to portals for ground clearance and stuff like that, but doesn't necessarily always mean, I suppose, it's the best for competition crawling. Again, like I said, I'm no comp crawler, so if you're more experienced than I am, then obviously let us know in the comments, you know, what type of things you run for different classes of competition, you know, not scale classes, but like proper. I guess this is more aimed at being a hardcore mini crawler, comp crawler. Okay, we're out on the trail now. I appreciate this is more kind of like a rock crawler, I guess, than a trail truck, but let's just try some trail obstacles just so you can see how it performs with the tire grip and the body clearance. That's some nice body clearance straight away there. And then heading on up to this bigger route here. Let's see if we can go straight over. Oh, very nice. Look at that. That with that body design, or chassis design, I should say, you know, just cleared that lovely. Now, just in case you're interested in what its wheel speed is like with that 3S battery, let's give it a rip. It's got some go in there, fair dues. Nice and stable as well on the turn. See what it's like coming up to some kind of like trail obstacles and some routes and stuff like that. I'm really impressed with these tyres. The grip on them is really, really nice. You see we've got some nice flex. Again, loads of ground clearance there with the body style. Look at that, stretching out those rear shocks. Let's see if we can push on up over this route. Oh, look at that, lovely grip from the tyres. Very nice. So let's go up here as well. Again, all really easy stuff, but just so you can see what it's like. Okay, now one thing I would like to see what this thing is like is our tree challenge over the stream, up and over this kind of like stumpy bit on this downed tree. Most things struggle to get up here because of how steep it is, and then obviously getting over that kind of stump. I just want to see if this can do it with that chassis clearance that we have, and obviously those nice grippy tyres. Let's see if it can get over there without unloading too much and falling in, because I can't really catch it, so we'll have to back it up if we think we're gonna bin it. Oh, it's unloading the front a bit, but hopefully it'll level itself out once we get a tyre just in that little dip. There's fantastic slow speed control, isn't it? Excuse my voice going. Yeah, I mean, absolutely awesome slow speed control. Right, now, as long as our axle has cleared that little bit of stump, this looks like it's gonna do it. Which, if it does, I'm pretty sure this will be the first mini crawler I've got over it other than the Terranaut. And obviously that's a beast with 8-wheel steer and 8-wheel drive. Now, the next tricky bit is this stump here, which we might have to go back just ever so slightly if I can, and then try and go left a little bit more. I mean, look at that slow speed control reverse. I mean, I am trying my hardest not to send it too hard in reverse, but I mean, the control on this thing is fantastic, isn't it? Right, come on, we need to get some bite. There we go, there we go. Go on, go on, go on. Oh, I think it's gonna do it. I think it's gonna do it. Oh, come on, we just need some bite. A little bit more wheel speed, maybe. Come on, get up there. You can do it. Go on, go on, go on. Yes. Look at that. Now that is cool. I'm pretty sure, well, like I said, other than the Terranaut, that is the first one to get up there and over that ridge. I mean, that's quite gnarly, very steep. Yeah, that is cool. I like it. Like I mentioned, I don't do any comp crawling, but I guess that's the type of things you're going to be able to do is, you know, lines you wouldn't normally be able to run with just your standard kind of mini crawler with a normal chassis design. But, you know, with this type of thing where you've got the high clearance links and obviously you've got that kind of chassis design where, you know, you've got lots of ground clearance and nice approach angles and stuff like that, you know, and that's with straight axles as well. I mean, I am impressed. Well, what do you think? I mean, I think it did a really good job on the rocks, and I was amazed it was able to get up that down tree when we were out on the trail. I think the thing that's impressed me the most about it is the tyres. I mean, I think the tyres are absolutely fantastic. They ate up the rocks and they were fantastic on the trail as well. The one thing I did notice when we were rock crawling it is that with that chassis design, even though it is like an LCG chassis, it sits quite high, which then means, you know, your weight's a bit higher. And, you know, you could see when we were doing the gatekeeper, the front wheel was lifting a little bit. And obviously it kind of wanted to unload a little bit, but maybe you could just, you know, tune the shocks in the rear or maybe change the weight of the oil in the rear so then it doesn't kind of squat so much. Again, you know, competition crawling isn't my thing. So if anybody's got some tips for newbies like me or anybody else, then drop them in the comments. It'd be really useful to hear some people's feedback on, you know, what they think of it. Now, in terms of price, it's going to be $219 in the US and £219 in the UK. Obviously, the US price does depend on the tariffs at the time as well. Places like A-Main in the US and like Model Sport and so on in the UK should have them. So I'll put links in the description to where you can pick them up from. One thing I did forget to mention, it does have brass wheel weights on the wheels already. So you do have a bit of low down weight already on the wheels, but maybe, you know, if it is a little bit top heavy, you know, you could counteract it with some heavier wheels instead. Anyway, let me know what you think of it in the comments. You know, what did you think of its performance on the rocks and on the trail? Drop me a comment if you've got any questions. Thank you very much for watching and we will see you on the next one.